Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today with Lunch with Lucy. My name is Kate Remillard. I am on the marketing team with VHT Studios, and I'm happy to be here today with you as your MC for our last show of 2020. Before we get started, I just want to thank all of our viewers and our guests for supporting the show. We launched Lunch with Lucy in July of this year. It started really kind of taking off in August. We brought on producer Mike D in October, who's helped us take it up a notch. And we're just so thrilled that this show has made an impact with our viewers. And so I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody for showing up week after week. And we all know it's been a challenging year. So thank you so much. As always, I need to mention that we have everybody muted except for our panelists. If you have questions for our guests, please add them to the Q&A box on your screen anytime, and we'll answer those at the end of the session. And now I'm happy to introduce the woman herself, Lucy Edwards.
Thank you so much, Kate. Hello, everybody. Very excited to be here and super excited to spend the next 30 minutes with you. We have amazing guests today that I would love to introduce. Nikki Field from Sotheby's International Realty in New York City, and Maria Babaev from Douglas Elliman on Long Island. And today we have a very interesting and exciting topic about real-time snapshot on what's going on in international real estate. And before today, I was talking to quite a few of my friends and clients and just asked their opinion. What do you think about that topic? And everyone was very much interested, fascinated, wondered what can they do something, how they can do something new and something interesting. How can they get into a new industry within the industry? So would love to start with Nikki. So Nikki, you are in New York City, the capital of the world. In my opinion, is the most beautiful city in the world. And I lived in a few, so absolutely love our New York. And it is very international. So how would you describe the situation right now within your market? And I know that you are working with Sotheby's and other companies throughout throughout Europe and Russia and Latin America. So what's your take on it and how you embrace it?
Thank you for that, Lucy, Kate, Mike, and I'm so privileged to be here with Maria as well, a trailblazer in international real estate. Good question, and I think an extremely relevant one now for all of our listeners today. Never before in the history of residential real estate has real estate been more essentially global. People are moving in all directions, in, out, over, up, down, like they've never moved before. I'm sure many of the sales agents here today see that fast times between the call that comes in and the decision that's made and the closing date. We're moving at a warp speed when it comes to people making smart, good, quick, prompt decisions about where they want to live, how they want to live, and in how many places, which opens us up to our international conversation today. I'm so excited that to have recently monitored in the last 2 weeks a great many of our offices in varying hemispheres and regions throughout the world. It's pretty similar to the New York market. Urban city markets are suffering, and rural resort markets have never been doing better. That's not just true here in New York, it's true in Hong Kong. Just a few hours ago, I had my Hong Kong call where they've been seeing more than 50% of their inquiries from local Hong Kong clients actually pulling the trigger and moving elsewhere. People from different places are going different places. I'll give Hong Kong again as an example. Hong Kongers are buying in Australia specifically, and London secondarily, and now looking for here in New York. Maria knows a lot about this, and I'm going to turn it over to her because she's seeing a lot of this activity come into her area.
Yes, so it's a great pleasure to be on this call today. And Nikki, the feeling is so mutual. I admire the level of your success and your achievements, and really treasure you as a professional, but also as a friend. So to share the screen with you in COVID environment, even on Zoom, is a great, great pleasure. So I think the message that we want to send today, that international business, global business is alive and well. And the truth of the matter is that with all the negative things that 2020 and COVID specifically brought to us, there's a ton of positive things that also came with it. It's like success and failure. It's the same thing, but it's two sides of the same thing, right? So here, and since we always look for positive things, I think what happened, the decisions that were kind of lingering expedited tremendously in the last few months. And purchase of the residence, whether for as a primary residence or investment, never been more important than now. It's still the safest investment of your money, of your wealth. It's the safest way to build or continue to build your wealth. But it's more importantly, we realize that there's nothing better than your living environment, which you can tailor to your needs. And it's not different for international purchaser. We see this with our local buyers, our national buyers, as well as our international buyers.
And when we were talking about it recently, Maria, how important it is when someone is traveling from overseas or from across the country, what they're looking for. Someone is looking for schools for their kids. Someone my age and their kids have their own kids now. So for me, I would look for something probably completely different. I don't care about schools, but I would care about maybe a golf course or well, actually medicine place if you grow in it as well, and things like that. So how would you separate how you offer your services to cater, to diversify your strategies?
Well, I think I personally start with the buyer interview. As much as we want to jump right away into showings and present our listings, and I think it's super important to invest your time into sitting down with potential buyer in person, in Zoom, over the phone, and really try to understand their needs. What exactly is important, in what kind of sequence this importance? Is the school important? Is the, as you said, hospitals, proximity to certain infrastructure and everything that North Shore, Long Island specifically has to offer? I think from that understanding comes ability to serve and service these specific buyers in a better way. So for example, if infrastructure is very important, we are only 25 miles outside of New York City, as you know, and we also have tremendously kind of versed and ranked school districts on Long Island. We also see that we have the best hospitals in the nation here. So all of this comes into play when you're making a decision. What I find that for North Shore, Long Island specifically, when buyers, again, either local or international, making that decision to purchase or make a real estate investment, it's not just the address that they're buying a lifestyle that comes with this purchase. And what's important for this or that buyer is very unique and individual.
Exactly. And yeah, you are buying a lifestyle. I actually, in our marketing strategy, I always talk to, when I do the presentations and I talk to our agents, I say, you have to think about the lifestyle. It's so important. And Nikki, when we were talking the other day, you were mentioning how the international real estate market is in waves. For example, in January and February, Russia was busy. Then it was April was busy for Latin America. How would you describe that? And already we are deep in COVID in April and in May, but the market was still strong. So maybe you can share your experiences with us.
Gladly. In order to do that, I just want to refer a little bit to what Maria was talking about. I think we find, all of us in this industry find ourselves in the tale of two global markets right now. One, the quality of life that Maria is referring to and offers. People that are looking for safety, security, sanctuary, and focus on family. That's a very important part of the COVID economy real estate market. But there is another equally important part of the COVID economy real estate market, and that's opportunity. So it's quality of life and opportunity. We have been balancing out demands on people that are looking for a different life or an alternative to what they have now, and those that are grasping at this extraordinary buyer's opportunity market. There is transition into the phases. In order to understand today's real estate, we need only go to historical data. Not that long ago, in 2001, New York itself specifically suffered dearly in real estate. People were leaving. New York might have been over at that time. There was a real cause for concern about the future here. Well, it was an international buyer 3 months after 9/11 that bought the most expensive property in the United States. It was at the top of the Time Warner building, if you remember, 2 towers. An international buyer, he is Mexican from London. But that stamp of approval, that extraordinary support and perspective about the health and the future of New York opened up the floodgates, and the international and domestic buyer came back to New York. Aha, now we jump ahead to 2008. The sky is falling. The financial markets everywhere took this massive hit. Well, we looked around, particularly those of us at Sotheby's, and knew that there was not going to be any local business for a while. So we took our show on the road, and that's when I began establishing my international desk. Why was that? Because very smart and very wealthy people understood this as yet another opportunity. They came in big, they came in deep, and they came in numbers into buying into New York real estate and its surrounding areas. The international buyer and the deployment of their cash saved New York yet again. I'm looking at this period now, 2020 going into 2021, for us all to get ready for the same thing to happen. That's exactly what we're seeing. The indicators are fascinating. Our opportunity buyers are there. They're looking for opportunity. Maria and I have it, and so many other agents on this call know where the opportunities, the deep discounts are. And smart people are going to continue to invest like it was 2009 again.
Well, thank you so much. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. Yes, everything. It's just a good start, and 2021 is going to be absolutely fabulous. Well, Maria, you also have a lot of colleagues throughout the country. You don't work just with New York and just with Long Island. I know for a fact that you have so many colleagues in Florida, for example, and this in Colorado, in California, that are looking up to you, that they have great relationship with you. And it's not just Douglas Elliman, obviously, it's everybody. And I admire you for that, how you built your empire and how you have friends and colleagues through all the brands and names. What would you say right now is going on with international market outside of Long Island and your zone?
As far as I know, we're all very optimistic and looking forward to 2021. Anyone that I talk to saying that 2021 will be an epic year for real estate. And I think the energy we bring into our business is extremely important, because we are no longer just real estate brokers running around showing properties. We really need to, as industry and as an individuals, continue to elevate ourselves in the role of the real estate advisor, especially if you are taking your business globally, especially if you're taking your business internationally. What advisors do, CPAs, tax professional, international attorneys, immigration attorneys, they advise to their clients and they take the information, which no one has lack of information. There's so much information, It's basically taking it and explaining to your specific client how to apply that information to their unique situation. So they all looking at us. What's our energy level? What's our level of certainty? And when you exhibit certainty and able to advise your clients accordingly, I think that magic happens. Okay. And I think that successful brokers, and Nikki can certainly support me in that as well. That's what we do. We create certainty for our clients. We advise them accordingly. And the most important thing, we develop a tremendous trust by having an integrity in each and every transaction. It's all about the relationship with clients as well as with colleagues, with brokers, not just in other states of the United States of America, but also internationally in other countries. If you have integrity and you bring that into each and every relationship that you create and develop, then basically your business will flourish.
Right, and Nikki, you were talking about like the same, to continue Maria's thought and direction, you were talking about the town halls that you have and the conversations that you have with your colleagues throughout the world, and how you share your experience and the information and ideas, right, Nikki? So you were talking about even Sunday you had one.
First of all, cheers to Maria. She's pronounced this is going to be an epic 2021. I'm so glad I'm here to hear that, know that, and get prepared for it. That kind of attitude, that kind of presentation, that kind of perception about the opportunities, I think are extremely important. It's important for us as an industry, definitely, and just as important to be able to pass that along to our clients and customers. I think it also behooves us to do as much as we can with the press. The press it's instrumental in passing the word along on where the opportunities lie, but also the perception and the health of U.S. in particular, and specifically the New York area. Every chance I get, we reach out to the press to let them know about some good stuff that's happening. Okay, big sales. If you've been following New York real estate, just last week we had 24 contracts signed over $4 million. That's half as much as we would have had a year ago, but that's a really impressive, supportive number. And that's what we're passing along to those people that are putting their toe in the market right now. As Maria said, we really not only have to be their brokers, we have to be their advisors and operating from credibility. Now, when I'm representing a buyer in this market today, and one in New York in particular, I'm really clear on the fact we're going to do scorched earth negotiating because the deals are there. The deep, deep discounts are there, and we're going to work as best we can to deliver them. In the same manner, we're preparing our sellers for some really extraordinary opportunities on their end. As the volume of sales have started to pick up, October and November, more than 50% more contracts signed than a year to date ago. That is significant. So what we're telling our sellers is we're reaching the bottom of this market. Hold on. It's going to start to climb again, albeit there's a tremendous amount of inventory, and the absorption rate will take us a number of quarters. There is health and future value in the Manhattan and certainly the city markets. So our contacts are essential. We have to get this message out. Maria and I and so many others on this call are doing this regularly. Brokers and their owners, their affiliates from around the world want to know what's happening. I have in this past week been on already, and this is just Wednesday, 7 seminars international in all different time zones. Our Indian industry peers are rapidly taking care of their clients that are deploying funds outside of India right now. They need to know where the quality of life opportunities are, as well as the investment opportunities. Canada has never been more in love with New York than now. One of the reasons is we've handled this virus well, and some kind of wood here, and hopefully will continue to. But Canadian investors that have a love affair with the Northeast are coming in by the droves. We've been particularly fortunate. I was on a seminar with our South American affiliates on Monday evening. Our South American neighbors are coming up from not only South America, but Latin America. Obviously, they're hitting Miami. They love that warm, wet weather, but they're looking at the west coast of Florida. They're going into Texas. Some of them are going into the Midlands of Chicago. They're looking for this chance to move into another real estate environment. And what better careers are we all chosen to be in at this time? Again, never have so many been moving so many different places than at this exact time. Take advantage of it. Follow the market. Let people know that you have opportunities and move your buyers to the best possible places that they dream of going to.
One other thing I just would like to build on what Nikki just said, because historically, international buyers specifically, and I know the topic today is all about international and global buyer. The trends that we noticed, they would start, let's say, with investing into real estate in New York City. They would purchase an apartment, a condo. When they first come for a few weeks and, a year for some shopping, for some dining, around holidays, and spend maybe not entire year, but few weeks here and there. When they be ready to move their families out of the country with China or Russia, then we noticed that at that time, they would be also interested in suburbs, right? And so North Shore, Long Island, Greenwich, Connecticut, Alpine, New Jersey would be the triangle primarily, which is the heightened interest from the international buyer. Why? Because we have land, we have infrastructure, we have equestrian centers, we have school districts, so on and so forth. And yet we only about 25, 30 miles outside of New York City. So it's a very easy commute and access. And I think that that's why urban and suburban works so well together, hand in hand. And that's why it's so crucial to continue to develop and build relationships with brokers in other areas, because what Nikki just mentioned, your buyer comes first, they start with New York City, then they possibly purchasing something in Miami, Texas, Los Angeles. The same buyer, the same group of people, the same group of international investors, I notice move from market to market. So your relationships with brokers, with your industry, with colleagues is absolutely important for the referral, and continue to build that network.
May I add to that, Maria? Something that we talk a lot about on my team. More important than your clients, more important than your customers are your industry peers.
Right.
They provide the huge volume of business that we do together, as well as they provide the information. It's so wonderful to be able to pick up the phone and speak to my associate in Paris or London or Zurich and find out in real time what's happening in that market. So I can truly present myself as a global real estate advisor. I think it's extremely important to massage those relationships, build them out. If you don't have a big Rolodex of contact list of domestic and international agents outside of your community, start working on it. They need you as much as you need them.
That is, and I love how both of you are talking about relationship. I think it's so important. Relationship with your colleagues, relationship with your clients. I think that is the foundation of everything that we are doing here today. I would like to, because we are getting close to the end of the program, and I would like to just ask your opinion. What would you recommend to someone who is on a call with us, and maybe they are totally outside of New York and Miami and Los Angeles, but let's say they are in Des Moines, Iowa, or they are somewhere in Minnesota or in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. So what would you recommend to agents who would like to get involved in international market, what they should do and how they should start?
Maria, you have that one.
Well, I think this is a great question. And I think that the most important is to take the fear out, because a lot of times, and Nikki and I speak on quite a few international panels, and that question comes up all the time. Look, if I'm not speaking another language, or if I don't really have access to this network or pool of buyers, where do I start, and how I can even position myself as an international broker potentially? So first of all, you don't need to speak another language. Look at, Nikki is amazing. She is not Russian. She is not, but the business that she built, she is an epic example and of the tremendous success and how you can take your business globally and internationally if you use the creativity, integrity, and the work ethics. So people tell me all the time, why it's easy for you, you're international by default because you from another country. I said, yes, but don't assume that every Russian buyer would want to work with Russian broker, or every Chinese buyer would want to work with Chinese broker. There's some confidentiality issues that might come into play, and Nikki can certainly comment on that as well. So I personally have a tremendous relationship with my Indian community here on North Shore, Long Island, and some of my best clients are, of the Indian descent. I think the most important thing is to continue to educate yourself. Start somewhere. There's tremendous resources. There's CIPS designation through NAR, which is the Certified International Property Specialist. And I think that my recommendation is for everyone who is looking to grow their business and taking it potentially globally, start there. There's also an organization called FIAPSI. It's a French-based real estate organization. I'm a member of that organization for many, many years. And the resources that it provides, absolutely unique and wonderful. Also, by being realtors, we are all members of NAR, a National Association of Realtors. There's an international chapter within the NAR association. So look for opportunities, educate yourself. So that's number one. Number two, continue to build your team. We just addressed and spent a lot of time discussing relationships with your brokerage community, locally, nationally. Take it international. Once we're able to travel, every time you go to another country, go to real estate offices, to Sotheby's, to Knight Frank International, to offices, just to kind of start developing this relationship. I also feel that other professionals, other trusted advisors are another tremendous source of international business for you. Again, I'm talking about tax advisors, CPAs, I'm talking about immigration attorneys. At one point when EB-5 program was really super popular, a lot of leads and referrals for me personally came from attorneys that are handling immigration law, as well as was dealing with EB-5 programs. So all of this is available to all of us, regardless if we speak another language or not. And always know that international buyers are super savvy, very intelligent. They are very resourceful, okay? They have layers of advisors around them. So don't think that if they speak with accent, they definitely do not think with accent. So have that understanding and respect to another culture, and also continue to educate them. It's all about the trust, integrity behind every transaction, and deepen your relationship.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yes. Maria, and all on one breath.
Well, you gave us a few minutes, so
I know, and I appreciate it. It's just a lot of information. We had so many questions. I know we're running out of time, but I would greatly appreciate if you can just stay with us for a couple more minutes, because some questions are absolutely fabulous. So, Kate, do you mind just running through a couple of them?
Yeah, I feel like Maria just answered quite a few about what associations to belong to and things like that, what groups. And there was a question about rental inventory in New York City being high and investors being concerned. What do you have to say about that? Any insights about the rental
I'll
industry?
take that. I'll take that because March, April, May, and June, my team was totally focused on investors. And investors want data. We needed to explain to them where the market was, is, and going. That means there's no cap rate here, or little to be expected. We're under 3% for cap. Investors are not buying in New York and buying in bulk for that cap rate. They know they're competing with a bloated rental market. So they're buying for the exit profit margin. And we're really clear on that. We know about these historical cycles, and we know that once they're in, they should be and must be long holders. We need to get them out when the market takes off again. When we see that fuel, we'll advise them. This is a very interesting time in urban markets. From my associates domestically, they all say their urban rental markets are dead, huge amount of inventory, and very, very competitive prices. That never is the same as a sales market. They usually are different. They volley differently because the opportunity is in one when the opportunity is not in the other. By virtue of these phenomenally low interest rates, people are buying. Entry-level buyers are getting into the market much sooner. Don't forget, we just came out of a period when Gen X weren't buying real estate. They were really happy with rentals. That was not a goal for them to buy up and continue to buy up. They were looking at their homes in a different manner. Well, this COVID period has another silver lining to it, and certainly there have been many. But I think it's trends for many users and investors' minds into the long-term stability, security of buying residential real estate. We're not competing right now with commercial real estate. You know that is suffering. Hotel industry, hospitality is too. People are feeling, without us even having to counsel them, that the safe haven is residential real estate. So again, to go back to leasing, I'm sorry, if you own a building and you are a landlord, it's going to be tough for a while. It's going to be tough until the market roars back. This is not the time to put all of your pennies into the leasing market. It's going to take us 2 to 3 years for that to come back.
It's unfortunate, but I'm sure we will be there. Just like you said, look at 2001, 2008. So, 2020 it's just another little step that we have.
2021 is going to be epic, according to
epic.
Maria.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah, and someone was talking about, I just lost the chat, about different organizations like Asian American Realtor Organization. We have the same thing with, we actually participate in quite a few of those. We have the Spanish one in, for example, in the Bronx, that we are part of as VHT, and we support all of you tremendously. I think it's great that we have organizations like that unite us and also introduce different cultures to all of us. So that is fantastic. And I just wanted to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you ladies for joining us for Lunch with Lucy, and as well as all of our audience for coming and being with us at all of our events. Thank you so much. And right now we're going through beautiful holiday season, regardless if it's rain or if it's going to snow or what kind of storm is coming our way. It's beautiful. It's holiday, it's family, it's all of us together. And I just want to wish everyone great spirits and good health, first of all, and everything else will come. So thank you from me. So would you like to add anything and send off our—
Yeah, any closing comments from Nikki and Maria?
I would just like to add something, and I referenced it earlier. It's a time for us to focus on gratitude. We're really fortunate. We're so much more fortunate than others that hopefully some of us are reaching out and helping to at this time. Our industry will continue. It will thrive. It will grow. We have safe careers to continue to build on. Look over your shoulder. We're so fortunate. There are a lot of people out there right now that need our help. And because of that, please keep that in mind and do whatever you can.
Thank you, Nikki. Maria, would you like to
Awesome.
add?
Yes, I just would like to say that gratitude is the most important thing. I always practice attitude of gratitude, but this year it really elevated to the new levels. And I'm very grateful for 2020 with all the bad things, but also with all the silver lining. We all learned a lot. We expedited a lot of decisions. We expedited a lot of things that were lingering. And I am super excited for 2021. I would like to wish each and every one of you and your families, first of all, continue to stay well. Health is wealth, and we all know about it way too well right now. We all learned that and made that distinction. So continue to build on that, continue to stay excited, curious, continue to stay positive. And I'm looking forward to more events like this. Lucy, I also would like to acknowledge you and your contribution to the industry, especially how you pivot during this time. And thank you again for the opportunity to share our experience, to share our expertise. And we always here to continue to work together and support. Thank you all, and all the best.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And we will see you in January. Happy New Year. All the best,
Yes, we
everybody.
do. We do have Charlie Opler, the president of NAR, will be with us in January. So be sure to check that out. And we thank you again. Happy holidays. We'll see you next year. And that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
All the
you.
best.
Thank you.